now we'll go into item number 11, which is our citizens' comments. Terry?
Terry Somerset Landing. James, do we have, or Clayton, whomever it is, this question, when, do we have a date when we're going to go back to our regular trash collection? I had about half of my neighbors have asked that question, and I said I would make sure that I answer it to you.
Well, right now, we're still in the process of training. We had some people leave, we got some new people on the training, like so they will go back in the truck. As soon as I get them trained, they can start.
So we don't have a
time frame right now.
Okay. All right, thank you.
I believe what happened is you were almost there, right? And then had more walk off and said, "Oh, not for me," and had to start over with the hiring process. So.
I got a suggestion. Maybe we thought about using like some of the guys that came up to them, like we're doing on ones that got work details, work release. I mean, I know they did it one night before. You know, they did away with it, but you know, you agree, maybe something that want to try.
Yeah, that's something we can take.
All right, so we'll continue to try to get new information out as soon as possible. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Yes, I'd like to bring to y'all attention.
Mr. Teagle, just make sure you say your name first so we got it on record.
Everybody doesn't know me anyhow, but I'm Henry Teagle.
Trying to be official, thank you.
Listen, I came here about 3 or 4 months ago, talking about the signs. We need some signs up in the media area of this town here. Did a good job over to Deckenwood and Brooklyn and all that. You got one sign on McAllen in the alley, but on Oak Street we need a sign up there saying what the speed limit is, and slow down and watch out for kids. It's getting to be a raceway on Oak Street for more than Delaware cars flying through that street. Now, some of the officers have been coming down, you know, checking it out and stuff like that. But what they're doing, instead of going up by Royal Farms when they come in from Delaware or Pocomoke or whatever, they turn down by the dollar store to get on Giddy Up and go across the sign there. My neighbor said, look. I said, yeah, he needs to stop with a sign. Then when you get up there to go toward thrift store, just like I reported to the officer when that lady came out of that little cheer store there, tore down the sign and left her tag. I guess they caught her, but they put the new signs up. They did a good job putting the signs up. But we need a sign down on that street there saying what the speed limit is, because they come through that street awful fast. And another thing I like to report, and I spoke to the lady, and I told her, I said, I live here on Oak Street. You got guys coming out of the place there where you serving liquid, sodas or whatever, throwing beer cans all over, pissing upside the wall. She said, oh yeah, I would do something about it. When she running for a liquor license, I told her on front, I said, hey, I'm gonna tell you right up front. Do something about it. That's the 3rd time that I have mentioned it to her. They got cameras and stuff in there. Then she's gonna tell me the camera's not working. I said, well, go get the proper cameras in there. That's what they need. And they're still doing the same thing. People walk up and down the street with their dogs and stuff. My daughter like got hit because this guy from Virginia, he was riding through the street like 60, 70 miles an hour. Now, what that lady need to do is put up a sign saying no littering or whatever, like they got at Royal Farms. Now, if she's gonna run a business or a sandwich place, by law, she should have a restroom inside that building. I spoke deliberately to her and I told her, I said, this is the last time. The next time you do it, I'm gonna take you to court. Because it's not allowed. Got school buses coming through there. This is in the broad daylight. School buses come through there anywhere between 2:30 and 3:30. Those kids are getting off the bus and here's a man standing beside the wall like this. It's not right. And it's up to the owner to establish her business and have her business running properly. If she cannot do that, then she don't need her business there. far as the other things going, out by our park here, it's getting to be a housing place. I come by there at 9:30, 10 o'clock, there's a whole bunch of people out there in the park with backpacks. I know Santa Claus ain't coming that bad. Something got to be going on there, there many people out there. Then early in the morning, before the officers come on, you see the bicycle parade up in the park. So I go out and sit in the park, they're sitting there for 5 or 10 minutes, then they take off. And then we got one house down on the end here, because I ride through at night, me and my grandson, and we watch them and we go We got one house there that I never seen so many cars up there. They got more cars than Royal Barn. Between 8:30 and 11 o'clock. It's like rush hour. Now, officers can't be everywhere at all times. But we need the signs up to beware. Look, it's a speed limit in our town. Maybe we should put a sign on every corner, don't do the crime if you don't want to do the time. Because we are trying to straighten this town up, and the only way we're going to straighten this town up, like I told my people in my neighborhood, speak out, come to the meeting and speak out.
Well, we certainly welcome you coming and your comments here, and I think we all would agree that if anyone, any citizen sees someone that's breaking the law, they should certainly report that. As you saw from our chief's report there, these guys stay pretty busy. They're around they're making stops and going on calls all the time, 24/7 for us. So we certainly appreciate you bringing some of those things to our attention.
I'm saying you need to send a letter to her, let her know that the people in the neighborhood is complaining. And let her know that it's been reported to the town that your business, the way you run your business and stuff like that, got cameras and stuff, and if they take pictures and stuff like this, you go on court.
All right. We appreciate that information. Thank you very much. Is there anyone else?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Dale Park. I'm the president of CROPA, Concerned Residents of Princess Anne. The first question I have is directed at Mr. Anderson. The Planning and Zoning Board we were speaking of earlier, there are 4 members on that board currently, and there are 5 positions. And it's going to be staggered. You said the 2 people at 2 years, so the other 3 would be at 5 years. So will it be 3 positions will be 5-year terms, and 2 will be 2-year terms? Correct. Thank you.
So just to real clarify, I think I understand what you're saying. Once those 2-year terms are completed, those terms will then turn into 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So that everybody will have a 5-year. We're just doing this temporary 2 years to stagger those.
Got it. Thank you for that. Chief Wade, the 700 plus calls for service, do you have it like broken down like categories? Like what are most of them for? What are most of these 700 calls for? Are they?
I don't have the breakdown. I can get them if you want them. I can come up with it and give you
Maybe
not all 700, I can give you the bulk of what we're looking at. So,
yeah, I want to know what's the majority of that.
I will find out for you.
Okay. Will we have a finance department report at future meetings?
Yes.
Thank you. Again, Mr. Anderson, you spoke about hiring a part-time person to be like a supervisor of like the activities at UMES and at the county art complex building. Is there a job description for that, or are you advertising? How is that?
No, we have not advertised for that yet. That will be advertised until we've got the agreement in place with the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and we have the dates and times of availability for the bowling alley and for the movie theater.
Okay,
but it will be out. But we're also waiting for Somerset County as well to give us the dates and times for Somerset County. But what that's going to be is a part-time person that basically is monitoring, right? So at the Somerset County Office Complex, as basketball is going on, just making sure that, things are in order, there's not, that there are not any problems there. The police department's gonna walk through and, from time to time as well. At the University of Maryland Eastern Shore for movie night, the plan is more or less just taking tickets and things like that. The concession stand for movie night is conceptually going to be manned by students at the University of Maryland Eastern, at UMBS. And the bowling alley as well, just making sure those who have the bowling alley reserved are the right people, things like that. So that's the general role. So it's not necessarily supervising any particular activity. It's more of a monitoring.
But there will be a job description.
There will be a job description.
Thank you for that. I wanted to say thank you to our town office for helping us get through this process. We've got our new restaurant we're going to be opening up in the next couple of weeks to the public. And just helping us go through that process. Both Troy and I are new at that whole process, and I just appreciate Alexis and Mr. Anderson working with us and getting that process through completion. So thank you for that. One other thing about that, in front of our new restaurant, I would like to know, can we get a flagpole hold? Like we have the open sign and we can put the pole in the ground. We don't have one on our end.
Actually, it's on the sidewalk. Is that what you're asking?
No, it's a hole. It's just a hole where the flagpole goes down. There isn't even one there. They're up further. We can do that. Okay, thank you for that. And the last thing I wanted to do, I have a proposal here that I would love for the commission to review, and maybe we'll be able to, if it's something that we think is feasible, that we could talk about at the next work session. Thank you.
And is there anyone else? Yes, Karen.
Hi, I'm Carrie Samus, the Director of Main Street Princess Anne, and I just wanted to point out to everyone that we are actually one of the most diverse Main Street districts in the entire state of Maryland. Almost all of our businesses are owned and operated by women, people of color, and immigrants. And this month is Black History Month, so we have a Black-owned business directory that we have out. So I just wanted to share that with everyone tonight and encourage you to stop by all of our businesses and support them. So thank you.
Is there anyone else? All right, we'll move.